Good evening and welcome to the 6 p.m. City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. Let the roll call reflect that all council members are present. Please note that Councilmember Chaburka is joining us electronically, and Council members Nadolski and Councilmember Lopez are trying to get here when they can. They've had some things come up, and so they're trying to get here. So we'll welcome those when they get here. First up, we have our Pledge of Allegiance by Vice Chair White.
Please rise and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we have our moment of silence, we would like to just remind everyone that Saturday, September 17th through the 23rd is Constitution Week to commemorate America's most important document. Is this what we're... Okay. The United States Constitution stands as a testament to the commitment of Americans throughout history to ensure their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. We encourage everyone to study the historical events which led to the framing of the Constitution in September of 1787. This Saturday marks 20 years since the horrific attacks of September 11th that took the lives of nearly 3,000 souls. For those of us that lived that day, we will never forget it. We remember where we were and what we were doing when we first heard the inconceivable news. We recall the shocking images and utter disbelief we felt as we helplessly watched the massive loss of innocent lives and the awe-inspiring bravery of first responders to the scene. We also remember the feeling of unity and patriotism that swept the country in the aftermath. As the anniversary of this devastating tragedy approaches, we hope that same benevolent feeling is rekindled. The differences can be set aside to honor those we lost. We would like to remind everyone that they can commemorate the events of September 11th by participating in the Weber Remembers 9/11 event presented by the Major Brent Taylor Foundation. The museum experience highlighting the events of that fateful day will take place from September 9th through the 11th at the Weber County Fairgrounds and is free to the public. September 11th was also designated as an annual National Day of Service and Remembrance to transform the day of tragedy to one of doing good. We encourage everyone to observe the anniversary accordingly and look for opportunities to serve others. With that, we would ask that you join us in a moment of silence for the lives lost on September 11th, 2011. Thank you. Tonight we have a recognition for Boots and Bunker, recognizing the Boots and Bunker program for over 30 years of service to schools in the Ogden area. And we have Councilmember Stevens to read this recognition.
It's nice to remove that mask. I'd like to briefly make a statement before I do that. It's an honor to make this presentation. The Boots and Bunker have meant a lot, not only to the education program, but to the families of the Ogden community. But also, I can probably visualize that if one life is saved, then it has been worth it, of all the efforts that they have portrayed in the Boots and Bunker. If they can save one life, then the whole program is worth it. Ogden City Council and Mayor Michael P. Caldwell proudly recognizes Boots and Bunker for over 30 years of community education in Ogden City. Since the early 90s, Boots and Bunker have presented safety messages to the elementary schools in Ogden area in a fun way. Through their presentation videos, the firefighter clown duo has educated the kids on the importance of fire safety, outdoor safety, and how and when to dial 911 and other life safety measures. The Boots and Bunker program continually develops new ideas, messages, and programs to present to each elementary school in the Ogden School District, reaching over 10,000 students each year. Boots and Bunker help bring safety to our education system and our communities, and I'd like to add, and our families. We congratulate Boots and Bunker for the successful 3 decades and are grateful for the contributions and influence they've made in the Ogden City. The immense impact the program has had on kids in our community is invaluable. We look forward to the program continued success and service for many more years to come. Presented this day, 7th day of September 2021. Who do we give the plaque to, Chair? Who gives?
We've got the chief here and other members of the fire department, so.
Well, come forward.
Yep, I'd have them all come up.
Just a couple. I heard that warning. What I'd like to do, if I may, is introduce those Boots and Bunkers that are here from the previous Boots and Bunkers from the inaugural year. Joe Anderson, Ted Lane, they were the first 2 that started this program and ran it from 1990 to 95 and 96. And if they would please stand up. And then as I read the names of the other Boots and Bunkers that followed in their shoes, and they were big shoes to fill, let me tell you. Matt Schwank, I don't believe Jim Dotson's here. Is he? There he is. I didn't see him come in. Jim. Dan Glenn, I know he's up in Alaska. Targy Williams. Ashley Phillips. Jeremy Croton, I believe he's not here. I didn't see him. Patrick McFarland. Dusty Lauren. Blair Jensen. Nick Roberts. Clay Nelson. Colin Weathersby. And there's 15 various individuals that filled the shoes of Boots and Bunkers over the last 31 years. And what's amazing is you see sometimes 20, 25-year-old individuals remembering the messages and Boots and Bunkers back in the time when they were very small children. I have to mention one person that has been with this program for an extremely long period of time, since its inception, as a volunteer. An amazing person, has given countless hours and really taken care and babysat every one of these clowns. And that's Marie Tryon. Marie, can you please stand up? What most would say, really, Marie, stand up. But she is standing. She's a wonderful person. She keeps our clowns in line, helps them, helps carry over from year over year some of the important messages that need to be said and how they need to be stated. She's a puppeteer for us. She's ready to completely retire, but she's an amazing individual that made a significant number of countless hours of contribution to this program, and we can't thank her enough. So on behalf of the Ogden City Fire Department, to all of the Boots and Bunkers, thank you very much for your contributions, your commitment to life safety for the children in our community. Thank you. Yeah, could we get all Boots and Bunkers to come up for a picture?
Yeah.
With the council? And Marie as well.
And Marie.
You've got to get in the middle.
Give her a boost.
Yeah. You can stand up here.
Marie, do you want to get on her knees?
I was fired last year. Give her applause.
Yeah. Let me give you the little stand thing.
No, I'm,
that was my
well, except I'm behind Matt.
Stand by Marie.
Matt,
Here, tell you what.
I'm giving you a hard time.
There you go.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, get cozy. Okay.
You can't see my knees, can you?
Okay, if everybody could look here. I'm the one talking. You can't tell me what the mask on. Okay, yeah. We're gonna look 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And then Mike, you good?
Already got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hey, Chief.
Hey, Chief.
Count all the boots and bunkers. Stay up front here. We have a little gift for you.
Start right here.
Oh, thank you.
You might ask the chief.
Yeah, we'll have the chief. Hey, Chief, we would love to hear some stories from the various boots and bunkers if they'd like to share them, or your volunteer also. I'm sure she has probably more stories than anyone.
Well, I guess you get to hear a few words from me. I'm Joe Anderson, and I have to tell you kind of how it all started. I was in fire prevention at the time, and the fire marshal came to myself and asked if I would like to be a clown and do this program, and I said, "There's no way. I cannot be a clown." And anyway, he said, "Pick someone out in the department that would like to help you, and just go down to this program that they're doing down in Provo and watch it and see what you think. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it." So I asked Ted if he would come. He fit the part, he's a little shorter. I wanted to be taller. Anyway, we went down there. We had such a good time with these two firefighters that as they showed us how to put on makeup, and then we went to this school and watched them do a program. It was so amazing. We thought, we can do this. And so we stole their show, and we came back and we started it at that time. I just want you to know, though, that the reason why it was successful is because of all these people behind us here, all these people that followed us and kept it going, as well as the administration. We had great support from the administration, and there was a cost involved, but they did it anyway. They knew the value of it, and for that reason, it's been successful, and I understand it's the longest continuous running fire clown program in the state, which is a great thing because I've seen many over the years come and go. And I might just say that the two clowns that taught us said, "Why don't you come down to Bullhead? They're doing a fire clown program down there, and come a school and come down and learn." And it was for a week. And so we came back and we talked to the chief, and he let Ted and I go down there to this school. It was in February. That made it a little sweeter. It was nice and warm down there, but. There were two clowns from fire clowns from Phoenix, Arizona, that had been doing this for a while, and we learned so many great things. And we went there every year and learned new things. And I hope that most of these other fire clowns that took our place had that opportunity to go down there. And I don't even know if it's still going, but anyway. Obviously, there was some support from the council and the city administrators as well. And what a great thing to see it still going. And like Brother Stephen said, there are a lot of people, a lot of kids that have the opportunity to learn in a fun way, and it's been very successful, and we're just thrilled that it's still going. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others?
I'd like to say something.
Yeah.
So I'd like to just kind of give a little bit of a further down the road from where Joe and Ted started, and Marie, obviously. So we have had the opportunity to go down to Bullhead. I have myself, along with a few other clowns. And we've been able to see some of the other programs that have been started over the years in different states, because a lot of the different states come into Bullhead. And they present their shows and give everybody an opportunity to learn from them and their shows and give us those ideas. Well, I can honestly say that the Boots and Bunker program in Ogden is leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of the other programs throughout the Western United States. And from what you've built and what you've designed and created, so much good has come from this. And I'll give you a little story on why it matters. And it affects me personally because it was in my own neighborhood. And that's why I'm so passionate about this program. And when I was asked to be part of the program, I jumped in because I thought it would be fun. And, I like to enjoy that. And I like to do this kind of creative and fun things. But I learned the real value of it as time went on, and then how it affected my own community. And so I just want to give Ted and Joe a little bit of that give back to what they started. Because like Doug said, if it just saves one life, that's all that counts. That's all that it matters. It doesn't matter anymore. That's what it was designed to do, and that one child was worth it. And so the example of that is my own community, like I said, where we had gone. I live up in Morgan, and we have designed that to be able to go up there and do a practice school so that more kids are able to hear the program, and we also get a little bit more practice, and then we can then come down to Ogden and really give a fantastic show to all the kids in the Ogden area. So we went up to Morgan, we did our practice show, and we have a bunch of different topics. We have usually 4 to 5 topics that we talk about during the show. So we presented this, and then we went on our way, and we started going through the year. Well, we received a postcard from Morgan principal, from the principal of Morgan Elementary, and he gave us what had happened in the community where they had some children, and they had the children had been approached by someone they didn't know in a car, and the children had been told to get into the car. They didn't know who he was. They had no relation with him, so they had for no reason to get in the car. And so the kids ended up running, and they ended up finding a trusted adult they knew, and they told him about it, and then they went to the school and they told their principal about it, told their teacher, who told the principal. Well, on interview with the principal said, well, why did you do what you did? And they said, well, it was easy. We did what Boots and Bunker had told us. They taught us that if somebody that we didn't know approached us and told us to get in the car or offered us something that we weren't unsure about and this was not something that we should do, then we found somebody that we trust and we would tell them about it so they could help us. And that's my children. Those are my kids. Those are my community, my family and my neighbors' families. And how much of an impact that makes is leaps and it's unimaginable. You can't quantify the impact that makes. And so Ted and Joe, thank you, and Marie, thank you so much for creating this program, having the desire to do this and to help kids throughout this community and other communities. And if you think about 10,000 kids each year, up to 15,000 kids each year, I mean, over the last 30 years, it's 300,000, 400,000 kids that have been able to receive a message of life and fire safety. And that is just impressive. It's impressive. So thank you so much for creating this program and letting me be a part of it and carrying it on. And hopefully it will just carry on for years and years. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. As kids, I have kids that went through the school. They've all loved Boots and Bunker. They think they're celebrities in Ogden. So my kids love them, and they always ask. That's one of the first things they asked when I got on city council is, "Do you get to meet Boots and Bunker?" I thought, hopefully someday. So, well, great. Thank you all for everything you've done for our community.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have a couple items listed under common consent. First is the Ogden Airport Advisory Committee, and the second is the ratification of Modified Resolution 2021-13.
Chair, I'll make a motion that we adopt the items on the common consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion to adopt the two items listed under common consent by Councilmember Heyer and a second by Vice Chair White. Tonight, we'll do it as a roll call vote.
Councilmember Chaburka.
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens.
Aye.
Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Chair Blair.
Aye. That passes. Thank you. Next up, we have public comments. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding concerns or ideas on any topic. Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. There we go.
Just wait for the door to shut. Okay. Be loud up here.
Good evening. My name is Ed McKenney. I'm a past member of the Ogden Airport Advisory Committee. Tonight's agenda is the council vote for reappointments and appointments of candidates for the Airport Advisory Committee as recommended by the mayor. The purpose of my comments tonight are to suggest to the council not to approve the list of candidates for the advisory committee with the exception of Mayor Dandoy. Having said this, having sat on several boards, airport boards and advisory committees in different states, I can say the role of airport manager requires some of the most in-depth and diverse knowledge of any municipal job that I've ever seen. With this in mind, it's equally important an advisory committee have the knowledge of any advisory committee. Any advisory committee member have in-depth subject matter expertise. Example, grant assurances, FAA regulations, liabilities, insurance, and airport safety. These candidates appear to have little or no aviation knowledge, skills, or experience, no in-depth relationships or understanding of the businesses or stakeholders at Ogden Airport, and lack the skills, experience, background to advise the airport manager in Ogden City as is required by Ordinance 2021-6, Section 2C1A. As a result, I would like to appeal to the council to please fill these critical roles with candidates that can speak with authority on airport and aviation issues and opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
One online.
If not, we'll take the one online. Great. So we have Angel Castilla, who's joining us online. We'll go ahead and allow her to speak. And go ahead, Angel.
Good evening.
The time is yours.
Hi. Good evening. Angel Castillo, Ogden resident. I hope everybody had a lovely holiday. At least we had some really nice weather, and so I'm looking forward to some more rain. I wanted to just briefly bring up the CUP text change that was suggested during the work session, specifically as it regards to the exterior facade change not requiring the Planning Commission input. While I fully support every other thing on that to help the planning staff do their job more efficiently so that we can keep things moving through the pipeline so that people don't have to get stuck in that gap of when's the next planning commission. I don't get my permit and I have to wait. I feel the exterior facade changes could go very, very wrong. There are only certain communities within our plan, as it applies to businesses, that have very strict what materials can be used. You just did something like this for the C3 as part of the Make Ogden plan. But allowing someone to come in to make a change without having a group of people that are in the community, live in the community, or have businesses in the community. While our planning staff is awesome and we need more of them, we should give the planning department more money. Planning staff necessarily isn't of the community. A majority of the folks that sit at the counter and do those things don't necessarily live here. So until we are at a place where we have a very specific list, these are the materials that you can use, these are the changes that you can make, I suggest that you refer that back to the Planning Commission. And with regards to allowing, there were some other questions about changing zones, and I too, Councilmember White, am not a fan of cul-de-sacs. There's a lot of data that says that it's not good usage of public investment for facilities as far as water is concerned and gas lines and things like that. We really need to take a look at changing what we say the smallest lot can be and how many single family homes we can put on that lot. We need an array of housing. We need high density. We need single family homes. We need townhomes. We need everything in between to attack this problem. But the developers are completely stymied by the fact that they have to charge more for homes because they simply have to meet these requirements of setbacks and lot sizes. I suggest that we look into what other cities are doing, think a little more creatively, and allow smaller single family homes with smaller setbacks so that we can attack this problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, looks like we have another one online. We'll go ahead and allow Priscilla Martinez to speak. Go ahead, Priscilla, the time is yours.
Sorry, I didn't mean to click on that, but thank you for the opportunity to let me speak, and I echo some of Angel's comments, so thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no other comments from our phone-in or call-in listeners, any other comments from public here? Seeing no movement. Comments from the administration?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. And comments from other council members?
I'd like to make a few comments. I was notified by my ward or stake that there is a project going on Wednesday, but it's in honor of the National Day of Service. And I'm sure there are other programs going. I don't know if the city has any. Maybe Mark, you may have some of those knowledges, information, and if individuals wanted to look into those programs, they would have that opportunity. But I would encourage us to go ahead and do a moment of service, whatever that may be, in your neighborhood or with a project that is being organized in the city. The other aspect that I'd like to address would be the fire that was at Topper's Bakery. That bakery has been in the city for 80 years, and as I read the news articles and the information, they indicated that they are going to try to make a comeback and rebuild, and I hope they do. That is a great loss for our city. I I recall going to there and picking up some donuts, and I enjoy donuts as it may be, but I hope they do make a comeback. And if there's any help that we can suggest to them as a city, we ought to maybe extend that olive branch out to them and see what information we have that we could advise them with. But that's all I have.
Thank you. Any other comments? I have one for the administration. We've gotten some emails about the false alarm reduction program. If you could just kind of give us maybe an update, or I believe there was some refunds that tried to be made, or...
Yes, I think the police were trying to use a company to take care of this. I think this company wasn't ready, and that was an error that the police made. They've pulled back. They're hoping that the refunds have been made that should have. We think the company struggled with knowing what is a residential property and what's a commercial property, and it was the residential properties that were the problem. So I've tasked the chief with making sure that they get an itemized list of everyone who got cited, anyone who was paid. Most of those who got cited didn't pay. Okay. And then make sure that we get the refunds taken care of. The gentleman who emailed us, I had the chief personally call, and we got his refund, and I think a good result. So we're hoping if there's others, we'll find them, and we'll find them shortly. So we are working on it.
Okay, thank you for that update.
Chair, I got one of those also, and the real problem that I can see is that notice that came from that company listed that anybody with a residential or business alarm system needed to pay that, and that's not in harmony with our ordinance.
Yeah, we've been doing some instruction, and we haven't gone live with them yet, and we won't until we're comfortable.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Did you pay?
I didn't. No,
Then we're not refunding
all the
you.
hubbub happened before I ever got to it.
We're not refunding you then.
Yeah.
I think I paid the fine because I got that same notice in the mail. So,
if you did, contact me.
Okay.
Well, thank you for clearing that up. Okay, if there's no other council comments, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn into a closed executive session.
Chair, I would make a motion that we adjourn into a closed executive session for one of the 7 reasons listed.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Councilmember Heyer to adjourn into a closed executive session, and a second by Vice Chair White. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Chaburka?
Aye.
Councilmember Heyer?
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Vice Chair White?
Aye.
Chair Blair?
Aye. Thank you. That passes. And we'll go ahead and adjourn from this meeting after the closed executive session in the workroom.